Hi, I'm Kimberly Prather. The Wildcats are coming off of a big win Thursday night against Northwest Missouri State.
Hey, aren't you that famous college football sideline reporter? I'm Grant Boone. We'll talk about the big ACU victory, 19-14 over Northwest Missouri State, the number 2 team in the nation. Maybe we'll talk about Kimberly's burgeoning career in national television as well. The Chris Thompson Show comes your way next. We're here with the coach, Chris Thompson, ACU head football coach. This clearly from the very beginning was going to be a big game, not just because it was number 2 against number 5, coach, but Northwest Missouri State and ACU have not just a history, but a very recent history.
Yeah, I think that's 3 times in one calendar year that we've played. We've gotten to know each other very well over the last year, and just tremendous respect for their program and their coaches. But real proud of our guys, the way they came out last night. And it was a chaotic night from the start, but it was fun. Had a great night.
Coach, how did it feel to shut out the number 2 team the whole first half?
Well, it felt great. I mean, I thought our defense came out and did a tremendous job. You know, we talked all training camp that this is probably the fastest, most aggressive defense that we've ever had here at ACU and maybe a team in general, and I think they showed that. They came out and they wanted to prove in front of a big audience, a big national TV audience, that they are that kind of defense, and came out and did a great job. Didn't just shut them out, but were able to score and get points on defense. So I was very proud of our defensive coaches and players.
Well, it was a better late than never effort because there was the 1-hour weather delay. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights here of our first half, and you'll see that maybe 20 minutes or so before the game started, a nasty storm blew through Shotwell Stadium and the entire big country, and for an hour or so the fans were sent underneath the grandstands, and you see the bleachers blowing on from the beyond the fence in the north end zone, and actually some fans, some great shots here of after the sun had come back out, the fans, maybe 100 or so ACU students and fans came out to move those bleachers out. Well, once the game started, your defense coach held them to a 3-and-out, and then the safety over the head of the punter.
Yeah, the Northwest Missouri last year had a tremendous deep snapper, and you know, new guy, first college start, got a little nervous, made a bad play there, but he settled in and had some good snaps the rest of the night.
Kind of makes you appreciate a guy like Cody Brown, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Cody Brown, a 4-year starter, does a great job for us.
Well, then after it was 2-0, Arthur Johnson scoops up a fumble and rumbles 42 yards for a touchdown. It was 9-0 at that point, and what a story Arthur Johnson has been for your team.
Yeah, AJ, we call Arthur Johnson AJ. He's a 5th-year senior from Rockwall, came from Rockwall Christian, and walked on 5 years ago and just has done a tremendous job and has really developed as a player. He was a high school corner, just came here as a little guy, and he's developed himself. We're very proud of him and the way he performed last night.
It was 9-0 at that point. The defense had played so well all night long, and you see a terrific sack there. Aston Whiteside had a terrific game. You really can disregard the numbers. It wasn't a bad numbers night for Aston, but he was all over the field.
Yeah, Aston was very disruptive last night. Did a great job disrupting their timing in both the run and the pass game.
Yeah, in fact, it was Casey Carr picking off Blake Bowles here. Bowles hurt you guys last year with the arm and with his legs, but that time Casey Carr stepped in front.
Yeah, Casey's another guy, walked on 4 years ago from Canadian. He's another high school corner that's been moved to linebacker and has really developed there and has done a great job. Very proud of him. He stepped up, made a huge play that led to a touchdown.
Well, and this touchdown from Clark Harrell to Ben Gibbs, the first touchdown for either guy. First for Clark throwing, and Ben Gibbs is another one of those stories that you never know how they're going to play out when the season starts, but it sure played out well on Thursday.
Well, we signed Ben 3 years ago out of Abilene High to play tight end. He just made a decision to go baseball instead, and really has been away from football for 3 years. Stepped up big with some big catches last night, and then Clark Clark really stepped up with some pressure there and made a good throw for the touchdown. So those guys performed well.
And Blake Bowles being sacked there by Aston Whiteside and Arthur Johnson. Okay, Coach, so the first half is over. It's 16-0, but it was already a weird night, wasn't it? You had the hour delay, then you had the safety. That was how last year's playoff game ended, with a safety out of that same south end zone. What were you feeling like, and what were you telling your players at the halftime break?
Well, at the half, I mean, you just want to refocus them. When you jump up 16-0 and the other team's struggling offensively, you don't want any complacency to set in. And we just talked to our guys about finishing the game, you know, and just try to refocus and go in. They've played a lot of football. We've got a lot of experienced guys back, especially on defense, so they've been in this situation a bunch, and real proud of the way that they responded.
LaRon Council, a preseason All-America, terrific player, and a guy who led the nation last year in touchdowns with 36, even a couple more than Bernard, though he did have 3 more games, as I'm quick to remind everyone when they look at that number. No question, a really talented back, and yet, for the third time in 13 games, your defense seemed to have a pretty good handle on him.
Yeah, I mean, he had some good runs and got out, but our defense did a great job of tackling and being where they're supposed to be, and that's to try to limit a great back. That's what you have to do. You have to the explosive play factor with a guy like that is always a threat, but we did a great job on him. Our defensive plan was really good with our coaches, and our kids went out and executed and really tackled well.
When we come back from the break, we'll take a look at the second half, which includes a rally from Northwest Missouri State. You're watching The Chris Thompson Show.
Welcome back to The Chris Thompson Show here on the ACU campus, along with Kimberly Prather and the coach Chris Thompson. I'm Grant Boone. All right, Coach, so you go into the second half leading 16-0, but you knew that Northwest was going to make a run, didn't you?
Yeah, a great program, great tradition, great pride. You know they're going to answer in the second half, and they did. They came out and got some things established, but our defense rose up to the occasion, and we did enough to win the game, and proud of the effort from our guys.
Let's take a look at these second half highlights. It begins with a 3-and-out that your defense put on that Northwest offense.
Yeah, Arthur Johnson, Arthur seemed like he was all over the field last night, made a big play right there. Marvin Jones, big defensive tackle in pursuit, and we were able to contain Bowles pretty well. You know, he got out on us in the playoff game, but defense did a nice job on him last night.
Yeah, ran for better than 50 yards in that playoff game, but not much running room against ACU in either half, and the crowd stayed with it even after that nasty storm. Still close to 10,000 ACU faithful. You guys could hear them, couldn't you? Yeah,
the crowd was awesome. I thought I've remarked many different times, our student body is just awesome. They've done a great job of coming out and giving our guys a boost, and it was a major home field advantage last night.
Well, after you guys hold him on the 3-and-out, Zach Stewart trying to make something happen, rolls to his right. This looked for a second like he might have been trying to throw it, but the officials ruled it was a fumble. Tyler Roach recovered.
Yeah, he was trying to get it out and just trying to do too much right there. Take the sack and let's punt and let's put our defense out there and play. But Zach will learn from that and get a lot better from that point.
Northwest would score 6 plays later. From 34 yards out after recovering that fumble. It made it 16-7, and then you guys do punt from deep in your own territory, and Mark Sprague has the punt blocked, and Aldwin Foster-Reddick, a big playmaker on the defense for Northwest Missouri State, recovers in the end zone.
Northwest Missouri is great in all phases, not just offense, defense, but their special teams. They do a great job with that, and you know, they came up with a big play. I think the kid that blocked it was a Texas kid, and he was pretty excited to get that done. And but we bounced back. Mark bounced back and had some great punts after that. So tough play that got him back in the game.
Kendrick Johnson, transfer, one of the guys you brought in here this year, with a really nice return out to the 37-yard line following that touchdown that made it 16-14.
Yeah, Kendrick from Kilgore Junior College had some explosive plays. Kind of showed some flashes last night. Northwest does such a great job of tackling. He didn't really get out, but he was close on some returns.
And speaking of showing some flashes, how about Reggie Brown last night?
Yeah, Reggie, we've watched him all training camp, had a great year at Abilene College last year. We knew he was capable of doing some really good things, had a real good night. Had some real solid runs for us up the middle last night, kept the clock moving.
ACU at this point leading 16-14. And Northwest, when they got the ball back, a couple of chances in a one-possession game to take the lead, but your defense again rose to the challenge in the run and against the pass.
Well, that was the big difference. I mean, playing a great team like this in a closely contested game, you got to get stops, and our defense just stepped up in a huge way. Ashton right there with a huge sack. I think he knocked the ball out of the quarterback's hand and just continued to step up. They were in our territory with a chance to win, as you said, and defense just did a great job.
And then ACU clinging to that 16-14 lead, held Northwest Missouri State, and really as you look at the second half, you guys were able to put that field goal on the board, and that was big because as we talk about it, that put you up 19-14. The kicking game, even what, half an hour before the game started, you were still a little bit uncertain as to who was going to kick for you guys.
Yeah, we've got 4 or 5 guys at the kicker position that have had a lot of competition through training camp, but nobody really just separated themselves. I made the decision to go with Ricardo Navarro. He's got a lot of experience. He's been playing college football for a while now. He transferred from New Mexico military a couple of years ago. Great kid. He stepped up in a big way, hit that field goal, hit a couple extra points. I was really proud of him.
So final score 19-14. We have seen some Monets through the years that your teams have put together. Last night's was maybe more of a Picasso,
yeah.
You know, like an eyeball up here and a mouth over here. It was a weird night all the way around, starting with the fact that you didn't begin the game until an hour late. As you look back here, it's been a couple of days, a chance to think about it. What you're feeling about the overall effort of your team?
Well, just looking back on Thursday night, you know, the thing that stands out the most is just the guys just kept coming. We talk all the time about just play the next play, no matter what the score is, you know. And I think they did a great job with that. I'm really, really proud of our coaches. You know, starting with our defensive staff, they put together a great plan to contain Bowles and do some things. And our defensive kids really stepped up. But on the offensive side, too, as many new faces as we had, able to come up with some points and some conversions on third down. We got to get a lot better in third down. But overall, just real proud of our team, real proud of our program. It was a big win. I think it'll be a big win for recruiting because it was nationwide, and a lot of people see that ball game. So it was just a great night overall, and we're really proud of our crowd. You know, last year we were 6th in the country in attendance, and that really is a huge boost for our team out there, that encouragement factor. And last night they picked up where they left off last year. It was just a fun night overall.
After this commercial break, we'll take a look at the 3rd year of the ACU women's soccer program. Welcome back to the Chris Thompson Show. We're going to take a little break from football and talk about the ACU women's soccer program.
That's right, Kimberly. Scott Stewart takes a closer look at Casey Wilson's ACU women's soccer team coming off that 9-8-2 season a year ago.
We have an awesome team this year, personality-wise and player-wise, so I'm really excited. I think that we have the potential to win everything, and so I'm expecting to do that. We've done a lot of running, a lot of getting in shape. I think everyone came in shape a lot better from this summer. I know I personally have done a lot more this past summer than any summer leading up to it. So just preparing for this season, like we just did a lot of that. It's been really cool to be on the team since the beginning and to watch it grow, because we just keep getting in new girls, and the girls who have stuck it out are just quality girls. So it's getting good. It's getting really good. We're building a good program. I just think that we're so good that if we lose, it's just going to be our fault. So our biggest competition is ourselves. Yeah.
Last season's finish, it was bittersweet. We made it to the playoffs, which was a huge accomplishment, a big success for the team. I just wish we could have made it a little farther. Well, we had 6 a.m. workouts in the spring, and we'd come out 5 days a week and practice and run. And this is our 3rd year as a program. And I mean, as a second-year team, making it to playoffs was a huge success.
We all came in a lot better shape this year, and I think just the team atmosphere is a lot better. We're like more as a family, and we're playing better, like possession and stuff on the field. Since being at the very first year and seeing like where we are now is miles ahead of what we were, just with the skill on our team, knowledge of the game, just everything really is. I expect to win every game. I think we're gonna win conference this year. I learned that like since I only have 2 years left, that like to give everything I got and no regrets, and to not like just I don't know, just to work as hard as I can every time. And I think the whole team learned that, just to always go hard.
I think for the most part, being healthy is a major concern, and I think if we can stay healthy, we have a lot of experience, and our expectations, I believe, could be definitely another playoff run. Well, the girls really worked hard in the off season, and throughout the summer, a lot of them came in excellent shape. I feel like the experience that we have coming into the season, having a lot of 3-year veterans has definitely helped us quite a bit. It's grown in a lot of different ways. In the past 3 years, the level of talent has gone up quite a bit, and the amount of players we have on our team that can come in and play right away has increased quite a bit, definitely. Throughout the Lone Star Conference, there isn't really any team that it's a bad team. I mean, they're all very competitive. Central Oklahoma, West Texas, and Commerce are 3 to come to mind that are always front runners each and every year that are tough, but there's definitely no one you can look past.
And we certainly wish Coach Casey Wilson and that women's soccer team all the best this season. Coach, in our closing minutes here, an interesting opportunity for you last night. You got interviewed at halftime and after the game by our co-host here, Kimberly Prather. She was on the sidelines for the CBS College Sports broadcast.
I thought she did an outstanding job. It was the whole thing, the whole night with the TV production, everything was great. And I thought Kimberly played a huge role in that and did a great job.
And tell us about that experience, Kimberly, because that was a big moment for you.
It was very exciting, my first ever national broadcast. So it was hectic and it was exciting. I guess it was hectic just like the football game. So we got to keep it in line.
That's right. Well, Coach, as we think about this victory Thursday night, it is a bit of a weird week. A Thursday night game followed 9 days later by a Saturday game against Fort Lewis College right here in Abilene. Talk us through the schedule for the next few days and what your team will be going through and what I guess you'll be thinking about working on with your team.
Well, it's really a great setup because training camp is so demanding. Those 3 weeks leading up to your first game is just really, it's tough on the players, it's tough on the coaches. You play the game Thursday night, and then we got the day off on Friday. The players came in, watched the film, got a lift in, and then they get Saturday off, and which is great because at this point in the year they need a day off, and then we'll come back Sunday evening and start to prepare for Fort Lewis, and then it just goes to a normal game week. They get Monday off, and then we practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and walk through Friday and play on Saturday. So the day off Saturday is huge for those guys.
19-14, the victory over Northwest Missouri State. We talked about this after the game, Coach. You knew you were going to have stuff to work on either way. Always better to get a win if you're going to have to work anyway, right?
Yeah, there's no question. You always make your biggest jump between game 1 and game 2, and there's a ton of stuff to work on there on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game, obviously. So we've got a lot of things to work on. Great to get the win. If you lose that game, you're feeling terrible right now. We've lost something like that, so it's great to get a win and proceed from here.
And who knows if that victory on Thursday night could be the one that pushes you into the playoffs at season's end. A big win over a regional opponent. Great win Thursday night. Way to go. For more, log on to acusports.com for the latest on the ASU football team and all of ASU athletics. For Kimberly Prather and the coach Chris Thompson, I'm Grant Boone. Thanks for watching The Chris Thompson Show.